We got an injury update last week on many Notre Dame football players. We now have a list of players that will not take part in spring practice. I'm going to get your takeaways on the injury report we received on the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, I've got that injury report in front of me, so I'm just going to read some of these names because there's a bunch of different lists that Rob Hunt, Notre Dame's head athletic trainer, gave us last week. So these are the players who are not going to take part in spring ball whatsoever. Jordan Botelho, Ashton Craig, Davion Dixon, Cooper Flanagan, Kahanu Kia, Chris Tarrick, Boubacar Traore, Chance Tucker, Jalen Stroman. A lot of those you kind of knew. Botelho, Craig, Traore, they all go down with a knee injury in September. We all watch enough sports to know that the timeline for significant knee injury that requires surgery like that, you're going to be out at least 6 months, probably 9, some cases up to a year. So they were never going to take part in these spring practices in March and April. But one of those in particular that it was kind of intriguing to me is Jalen Stroman. You get him out of the transfer portal from Virginia Tech. You kind of slot him into one of those starting safety spots, and that's one of those positions that's up for grabs, obviously, with Xavier Watts having moved on to the NFL. You remove him from the equation in the spring, all of a sudden you're looking at guys like Luke Talek, Kennedy Urlacher, Tay Johnson, even if he's a guy that has been rumored to play corner, rumored to play safety. Where's he going to go? If Jalen Stroman is out, then shoot, man, funnel him some safety reps and see if he can be the guy there. Jadon Blair coming in from the true freshman ranks as well. I think he's an interesting name there. So Jalen Stroman being out makes that really interesting. But then, like I said, the rest of those guys, you're reading the list, you kind of knew that they weren't going to be involved in the spring. But one note on one of those guys is Jordan Botelho. Rob Hunt had excellent things to say about him, says his regimen, his rehab, his rehabilitation has looked tremendous, and he should be a full go by summertime, which obviously means going into fall camp, he's going to get all of his reps back there. And I think that's the more important time anyway, right? Spring ball is fun and all because we've been without football for 3 months or so, and you want to see these guys back on the field. But who's going to be there in the fall? It sounds like Jordan Botelho will be. Maybe Boubacar Traore is also in that same camp. So missing these guys in the spring, not that big of a deal and kind of expected.
I liked how you worked a Riley Leonard shoot into your analysis right there. That was perfect. Hey, let's talk about CJ Carr for a little bit. Of course, we know there were times last season he wasn't even throwing the football. He's rehabbed. We got a little injury update on CJ Carr. Is he looking good for spring practice and beyond?
Yeah, he told our Kyle Kelly in January, I want to say it was National Championship week, that he felt 100% then. You take the kid at his word, obviously. It felt a lot better hearing it from Rob Hunt, the head athletic trainer, that, hey, yeah, he is 100%. You're going to see him in spring ball. No restrictions, I think, is the terminology that Rob Hunt used, which is awesome because, as you alluded to there, a whole lot of restrictions from really the end of September, early October, all the way through and into December. We saw periods of CJ Carr not throwing the football at all, throwing the football with his left hand. He's not going to do that if he ever starts big-time games for Notre Dame, which a lot of people expect him to as soon as maybe August 31st at Miami. We'll see. We'll see how it goes for him in the spring. It's going to be fun to see how it goes for him in the spring because, yeah, he's full go. It sounded like the meticulous part of his rehab was kind of crazy because with an elbow, baseball season's around the corner, right? MLB season, you hear elbow injury, you know that the throwing motion is so repetitive, it scares you. And when I first heard elbow injury for CJ Carr, I was thinking, oh no, is that going to be surgery? And if it is, we might not see this guy till 2026. Not the case. They kind of determined what it was. The particulars aren't really out there with the injury. Obviously, it wasn't a major UCL or anything like that, but it was significant enough to limit him for 10 to 12 weeks is what Rob Hunt said. And there was a period of complete rest where he was not doing anything with that elbow. There was a period of strengthening where he was doing some things to get right. And then he started throwing the ball again, as we saw in December. And then January, we kind of saw him throwing again in warmups for some of those big bowl games and whatnot. So it was a process. I'm just glad the process went well for CJ Carr because he will be in the mix in this offseason quarterback competition. And as I said, there's some people expecting him to win it. I wouldn't be shocked if he does. I think experience factor is still going to be a big part in this, and you might see Steve Angeli start in August because of that. But CJ Carr is right there, and he's healthy too, which is a huge, huge thing.